This is going to be a complete walkthrough of my entire desk setup as it is. So the first thing we start with is the desk itself. It is a 32-inch by 80-inch solid core wood door. The solid core is very important. If you get a hollow core door, it will collapse under the weight. The desk, the door, the surface is sitting on two steel filing cabinets. I bought them used, I painted them, and I like to have the actual desk drawer for putting things inside of, supplies and such, as well as the bottom drawers for the actual files. I have two computers, so that space is provided for me there to use two computers. However, if you have one, you certainly don't need a desktop that's this wide, or if you don't have other stuff that you need to put on there. I do use a pad for standing, and that needs to be taken into consideration when you figure out the height of the keyboard stand for your specific ergonomics. I measured everything perfectly for me. The keyboard itself, the keyboard stand itself, was custom made. This is my third version of this thing. I actually had it made by a furniture maker, so he was able to, do all these cool little furniture maker tricks to make it stronger. There's this little notch inside here. I don't even know what all this stuff is called, but he really did it right. He built it well. This is built out of ash. We were going to originally put piano hinges on the inside. However, the piano hinges were not long enough for my specification, or they were either too short or too long. And apparently you don't want to cut piano hinges. So he just used regular hinges. The only thing that I would improve on this is that I would actually have the hinges recessed into the wood so that when the keyboard stand is closed, this entire piece would sit flat against the main surface on the leg. The legs are at about a 20-degree angle. I did add these little rubber feet. You can get those at Home Depot. Just stuck them to the bottom. I did use a low or zero VOC varnish for all of the wood, including the desk, before I put it together. However, I will also be getting an acrylic, a clear acrylic cover custom made to fit this, as well as the keyboard stand. The monitor wall is made out of natural birch plywood. There's two pieces. This piece sits on the surface of the desk, and there's the vertical piece. I had these brackets custom made for me by a company that makes shelf brackets for granite countertops. And the reason I did that is because all of the standard bookshelf or shelf brackets were not flush. They weren't square. They were all wonky, and that was causing all kinds of problems with my monitor adjustments. The bottom piece here, rather than just attaching this directly to the desk, because solid core wood is not really completely solid core. I don't know if you can see the seams here. They come in pieces. They're all glued together. So the top flat surface actually added strength to the entire thing and also keeps this from bowing. The bolts, they go through the brackets, through the horizontal part of the monitor shelf, go through the bottom of the desk. Don't know if you can see that. It's attached with a washer. I used a 3-inch bolt, a 3-inch long, 3/8" bolt, and that's attached on both sides. For cable management, I just went down and bought a piece of 6-inch seamless aluminum rain gutter, and all my cables and everything are in there. And I just built a little stand out of PVC pipe to support that. That way I can get most of the cables off the wall. The monitor brackets or adjustable monitor arms themselves are from Innovative Solutions. That's a 7-flex monitor arm. There's 3 of these things, and in the standing position, in order to get the monitors centered where I wanted them, you notice that the bracket itself has to be off-center to the left, and that gets the monitors centered when they're positioned. The keyboard itself will sit centered under the monitor. I'm using Asus monitors. You could pretty much use any brand of monitor that you like. All of the bolts and everything that attach the brackets for the monitors are back here. I did use washers to attach those. It's hard to get a shot back here. I did screw another power supply to the back of the monitor wall, and that made it easier to get the cables for the monitors where they needed to be. I like the Innovative monitor arms because they have a built-in cable management system. The only thing I didn't like about the monitors is that the power cord is too short. So for the two side monitors, I am using extension cords for the power cable, but you could probably also buy a longer power cable. I just didn't have them easily or quickly available where I needed them. The only thing that I would probably do differently on the shelf brackets themselves is that they really don't need that center bolt in the middle there. That would be two less holes to drill, and I would move that bottom vertical bolt up just a little bit so it's actually evenly spaced, like that bottom back bolt that's there. I have two computers. One is meant for video editing. So what added further complexity to this whole thing was that I needed all three of these monitors to be able to work with two computers. So I actually ended up buying monitor switches. These are DisplayPort switches from a company called StarTech. I have three of them, and fortunately they all work on the same remote control, so I can switch between the two computers using that remote control. If you're using just one computer, you really don't need to do that. All you have to do is get a graphics card that has three monitor supports built in native. That'll make life a lot easier for you. Because I did have so many different monitors, 3 different monitors on the different computers and everything else, I did use stickers to tell me which cables are going where. And I put also stickers on the monitors and monitor arms to coordinate between the three. You know, when you're trying to chase down problems and you've got a tangle of cables down at the bottom, it's so much nicer to have all of your cables color coordinated. Makes troubleshooting a lot easier. It also makes the hookup a lot easier as well. And that is pretty much my entire setup. If you have any questions, give me a call.